So what's the difference between 507B and 507C? My name is Louis Liao. I'm an employment lawyer and a principal at Louis Liao Chambers. 507C says what? Whoever in any manner or by any means uses or makes any threatening, abusive, insulting words, engages in any threatening, abusive, insulting act, and such words, communication, or acts are heard, seen, or otherwise perceived by a person who is likely to feel harassed, distressed, fear, or alarmed by such words, can also be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 year with fine or with both. So what's the difference between 507B and 507C? 507C is that these threatening, abusive, insulting words or communication or actions is not directed to a person. Let's say manager and subordinate as the examples. So manager says certain things, it is not directed to this subordinate. It is perhaps said in public, said to the work at large. But this section says that even if it's not directed to this person, but he or she heard it and she still feel harassed, distressed, or fear or alarm, it is also an offense. Example. So let's say manager A to this employee subordinate directly say, F you, you are useless, F you. That would be section 507B. But if this manager in a team meeting where there are other people here, he is not directed to anybody, he just say it in public where everybody can hear, say, you all are F useless, F use all the vulgarity, all these things, but he's not directing one person, he just say it in public like this. But the people present heard it and still nevertheless feel harassed, distressed, even though it's not directed to them directly, that is also an offense under 507C. So words, acts that are threatening, abusive, insulting, and are perceived by someone likely to feel harassed, even if it's not directed specifically. That is 1 year jail or with fine or with both. So for example, during a team meeting, a supervisor shouts insulting words. This group of people are idiots. They will not be allowed to go home until this is done in front of everybody. So even though it's not directed at a particular staff, those present who clearly listening to it, who is there, can feel very stressed, very alarmed, very harassed, very uncomfortable, very fearful of their safety. Now that is an offense under 507C. However, this section of course has its defense, meaning the superior, the one that utter the words, can raise the defense that if he believes what he said, no reasonable grounds to believe that the words or communication used by him can or will be heard, seen, or otherwise perceived by a person who was likely to feel harassed, distressed, fear, or alarmed by such words. So meaning it can be a defense if this person can tell the court that when I said it, I didn't know she would hear it, or I didn't know that a person like her who hear it will feel fearful or alarmed. I really didn't know. I meant it to the public and I genuinely didn't know. There's no reasonable grounds for me to believe. There's no reasons for me to believe that what I said would make this person feel harassed or threatened. In other words, basically this person is overreacting or oversensitive. So maybe I say, we must hit 1 million target this year. That is our goal. We must push towards it. Now somebody suddenly go and say, I feel so fearful, feel so stressed. Well, there's no reasonable grounds for this person to believe that him saying that can cause fear or harass. Then it is a defense to the manager, to the superior.